Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm gonna be giving you part 4 of What If Naruto Unlock a Strange Power. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, stay in tune because next I'm gonna be posting a new episode of What If Naruto's a Godly Mage over on Anime King. And I'm also going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto Became the God of Wind. So stay in tune for that and I do hope that you guys enjoy. And I'm going to be posting What If Naruto got his memory sealed away on this channel. So stay tuned for that as well guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and turn on that bell notification as they posted. And yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Begin the intro. So, the last time we left off, after reading the scroll, Naruto spent the next hours as he tested out his monkey to sharingan ability. As he went home, as Uncle was so worried about him, as she hugged him, as he told her what happened except for leaving out the coup, and what happened with Danzo. When Naruto made his way to school the next day, Kiba and Sasuke decided to make fun of him, as Kiba took it too far, speaking about his mother, as Naruto fisted him right in the gut, knocking Kiba out. As he was went to the infirmary, where everyone was then called to the Hokage's office. As Tasumi knew Naruto and she knew that he wouldn't do anything like that if Kiba didn't provoke him. As they went as far to get Yamanaka, and Tasumi dragged Kiba away by his ears after apologizing to Naruto. Later that night when Naruto was going home, he came upon a sight to see Itachi, as there was bodies of the Uchiha clan members. He knew that Shisui left the job up to Itachi, so seeing Itachi kill them, Naruto didn't really care about the Uchihas, but he knew that Itachi only had one choice and it seemed like this was a choice that he decided to make, as Naruto also saw the masked guy. We then had a time skip 5 years later. The Uchiha clan was slaughtered except for one person, and that was Sasuke Uchiha, who was still as arrogant as ever, as Naruto has been practicing with his newly acquired Mangita Sharingan, and things were going quite well. As it was the day of the exam, as Naruto passed the exam with flying colors. Later that night, as Aruka and Uncle were set up on a date by Naruto, which the both of them enjoyed a lot, seeing that the both of them were just too shy to, confess to each other, but Naruto placed a seal that made them tell their deepest, emotions, and the both of them actually liked each other. It was Naruto training up to this point, as he brought her towards the training ground and removed the seal from her neck. As he told Aruka to bring her home, she would just be exhausted for some time. As Naruto removed the sealing area on his stomach, releasing a giant fox. Yes, as Kurama was now freed, as he told Naruto his name, and he also gave Naruto the fox summoning contract. Kurama also saw something else, another summon that wanted Naruto to be their summoner, and he doesn't mind, as 3 foxes also were there, the ones that Naruto was always playing with. It seems like Kurama was using them to watch Naruto, and seeing that he is truly worthy. So right now Naruto is free of the Biju inside of him, but Kurama leave behind some of his power to keep Naruto alive, and also, it will replenish in time, and Naruto still had his immense healing ability, and not to mention he would soon get the club once he defeat his other half, and not to mention he will learn the Biju bomb while Kurama will have to teach him that. As Kurama told him until next time after he gave Naruto one of the foxes the name, as she will learn to speak as the time go on, and with that he poofed away with the other foxes. As Naruto did not tell anyone about this, as he left. The next day, as Mizuki tried to steal a scroll but he was captured and placed under interrogation by Ibiki, and Naruto was placed on a team with Sakura and Sasuke, Team 7. Naruto didn't really do much in the bell test because he knew, despite everything, the council will find a way for them to pass the loophole, as Naruto also, picked to be tied to the post. Sasuke saw that they will need all their strength. He decided to feed Naruto, And after a while, Sakura went along with it. So Kakashi passed him. So yeah guys, that was basically as we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So what do you say we begin this new episode? Kakashi arrived at the office as soon as the Jonin for Team 6 failed his team. Team 7 passed, he said, as everyone looked at him. Well, Sakura is pathetic. She couldn't break out of a D-rank jutsu, and was more worried about Sasuke than anything. Sasuke is at a high, Genin level, maybe low tuning, and he actually managed to touch one of the bells. Naruto didn't even try. He asked for a bell and I told him no, and he didn't really care. He actually spent most of the time criticizing my food, saying that he might as well eat cardboard, as this caused Kurenai to laugh. What's so funny, said Kakashi. Of course Naruto would criticize their food. He was taught to cook by the Ichirakus, and we both know how seriously they take their food preparation. I actually had some of Naruto food before, and it's really good. Is that all, Kakashi? Asked Hiruzen, as Kakashi nodded. As he looked towards Kurenai, Team 8 passed. It seems like Shino took up a leader role. He even managed to trap me with his bugs, and Hinata tried to shut off my points, and it seems like Kiba was the one to live for the final blow. I would say that Shino is on the same level as Sasuke, but he relies on his bugs too much, and he can't really use taijutsu all that well, so I'll have to fix that. Hinata should be mid-tuning for how long she has been training taijutsu by her clan, but her confidence issue put her around mid-Genin level, and Kiba is at least low tuning. A horny little brat that hits on every female that move. I will have to fix that, said Kurenai. Team 10 passed as well. Ino is just like Sakura, which baffles me, since that she's the heir of the Yamanaka clan. Choji and Shikamaru are both high, Genin level, said Asuma. Alright, thank you for all the reports, you're dismissed, and good luck, he said. Meanwhile, Naruto was making his way with, as he had, the takeout special for Anko, which include around 20 dongos. As he could sense someone following him, he ran around the corner alley, as he vanished. Hinata then came out looking, as Naruto was on top of a roof looking down at her. You gotta be kidding me. I have a fangirl who actually stalked me, Naruto thought. As he watched her look around for a few seconds before leaving, as he made his way to Anko's apartment. And when he got there, he unlocked the door and went inside to see Kurenai was there, along with Hana, Aruka, Hiruzen, and Yujiro in her normal clothes. As Anko was awake, the moment she saw Naruto, she rushed over to him and started to hug him and thank him over and over again. Okay, what's going on? Anko, why did you need all of us to meet you here? Yeah, I'm surprised. Don't you have paperwork to do, Gigi? Naruto asked. I'm just a shadow clone. The original me is still at the office. Once I disperse, you will get all my memories, the clone said. So let me get this straight. You sent a clone to do something for you to be in 2 other places. The clone nodded. And yet you don't use a clone to do the paperwork? The clone blinked several times before poofing away, as a scream could be heard straight from the Hokage's tower. A few seconds later, the real Hiruzen arrived at the apartment. You knew, didn't you? He said, looking at Naruto. And why didn't you tell me? Well, you didn't ask. Why is everyone here? Asked Kurenai. She looked at Anko. Oh, first thing first. Look girls, I have a boyfriend, she said, as she kissed Aruka, making Kurenai, Yujiro, and Hana squeal a bit. And the next thing is, she pulled on her shirt. What's so great about your shoulder? Asked Hana. Just look carefully. Wait. How? As they were surprised. Her cursed seal is gone, said Yujiro, breaking the silence. As Anko then explained to everyone what happened, until she noticed the bag in Naruto's hand. What's that, Naruto-chan? Your lunch? She asked. Nope. One Anko especially said as he tossed it back towards her who caught it. As she opened it, as her eyes went wide, she instantly started to chew down on the dongos. Hey, Kurenai, can you please tell Hinata to stop stalking me, said Naruto. I mean it's getting out of hand now. I caught her following me today. I told her that I didn't like her that way. But now, it's getting really annoying, said Naruto. I'll talk to her. She told me that she liked you, so I told her to give it a shot and talk to you. But I never knew that you told her that you didn't like her that way. I guess she didn't take you seriously. I'll talk to her tomorrow. Thank you, Naruto said, until Asuma said hey. Oh, and also, use protection, okay? Naruto had to flash away as he threw a kunai towards him. Time skip. It's been 2 months since Team 7 became an official team. And he hates it. He hates it with every fiber of his being. Not the D-rank missions, because money was money, and helping people wasn't so bad. And also they finally find out that he wasn't lying about why he was late, because he was actually helping old people. His favorite mission was a Torah mission, To his surprise, it was the same cat that always crossed his path. So when he saw Tora, they had a good Texas standoff that lasted for about 10 minutes before they rushed at each other. Everyone thought that they were going to battle until Tora hopped in Naruto's arms and Naruto started to pet the cat that purr. "Oh Tora," said Naruto, "I miss you, stealing my little bentos and our 3-hour chases." As he cried, anime tears are hugging the cat, causing cat to purr in happiness. But what was really pissing Naruto off now was the favoritism that Kakashi was doing. As Naruto didn't really call him sensei anymore for these 2 months, he could have at least tried to help him or Sakura, but he didn't, not one bit. He just focused on Sasuke, and Naruto wasn't even impressed with Sasuke's development. He could only guess that Sasuke will start to copy abilities with the Sharingan when he unlocked it. That's another thing really. Naruto hasn't showed them that he had any skills, or he didn't even show them that he had the Sharingan. Now here we find Team 7, as Naruto had Tora in his hand as they were going towards the Hokage's tower. As they made their way, "Yo, old man, we're back from the mission," said Naruto, petting Tora. Naruto Baka showed the Hokage some respect. Sakura says she turned towards Naruto, but Tora hits at her, forced her to back off. Hiruzen simply chuckled. "It's quite alright, Sakura. I allow Naruto to call me that because he's like a grandson to me." Now, the mission is complete for rescuing Tora. A fat lady walks in. It was a daimyo's wife. Tora, she says, she grabbed onto the cat as she started to squeeze the cat between her bosom. "Oh Tora, mommy has missed you so much, you need to stop running away from me." As the cat gasped for breath. That's right. Squeeze that little demon cat until she pop, thought Sakura. If she keep on doing that, there will be no more Tora mission very soon. And no more daimyo breathing down my neck about the stupid cat, thought the third. Sasuke thought. Why hasn't Sasuke unlocked his Sharingan yet? Actually, I think he already did in the massacre, but he just needs to reactivate it, thought Kakashi. But everyone thought was cut. "What the hell are you doing here?" says he grabbed Tora from the lady. "Young man, do you know who I am? I am the daimyo's wife. I demand you show me some respect when speaking to me." "Respect is earned, not given, fat ass. And you are about to kill Tora if you keep on squeezing her. I'm sure she hasn't been taken to the vet to check for injuries." "It's a good thing you don't have a child. You'd probably squeeze the damn babe to death," said Naruto. "Now, I'm gonna take Tora to the vet." Before anyone could say anything, Naruto vanished as he made his way to the Inazaka compound as he saw Hana. "Hey Hana, can you do a checkup on Tora for me?" Naruto asked. "Sure, sit her down on the table for me," said Hana. As Hana started to scan the cat, well, her ribs are bruised and her spine's a bit turned out of place. But a minor surgery and amount of rest, that would do her good. But Tora screeched, hearing about the surgery. It seemed that the cat was well aware. "No need," said Naruto, "I can just place an animal seal on her. The medical kind." "Can I have some of those?" asked Hana. "Many for Ninkans. Come back hurt after a mission." "Sure, they don't work on broken bones though. I tried it and it didn't work. You see, I'm the reason why you have less stray animals coming to you if they don't have broken bones. Because if it's just a simple cut or anything else, I heal them," said Naruto. "I even set up a compartment at my complex where they don't even have to walk up the steps. They just come to my apartment. They just go and lay on the seal in the cubby and it automatically places a seal on them. The compartment hold up to 5 animals up to the side of your mother's partner." As Naruto unsealed a scroll from his wrist as he pulled the tag out of it and placed on Tora, who purred as the medical chakra rushed through her body. As he gave the large scroll to Hana. Inside the scroll is about 200 medical tags and the instruction on how to meet them. "I'll come by and build the compartment another time, or just request it from the Hokage if I'm busy. Well, I have to get back to the mission room to finish healing that daimyo's wife, so I'll see you around." "Oh, and just between us," said Naruto, "if I wasn't looking for a certain girl, the way you look right now so hot, I would definitely bend you over this table," said Naruto, making Hana blush. "Well, see ya," he said as he vanished. Well, for sure, Genma would be getting late tonight when he returned from his mission. As Naruto made his way back to the office, "Now let me tell you how you're hurting Tora. Her spine was out of place and her ribs were bruised. I'm not going to take her from you because she's like the palace. But you squeeze her too damn much and stop dressing her up. I've seen the pictures, the outfits are horrible, and please get her a male cat. She only leaves the place when she is in need. But sadly, all the cats in the village are slobs." "So what are you telling me?" the woman said. "Are you stupid, lady?" said Naruto. "I told you, stop squeezing her and stop dressing her up in those dumb outfits and get her a male cat so she can get laid. You do all that and you don't have to worry about her running away." The woman stepped forward and she looked at Naruto, but she smiled. "I like him, Pearson," she said. "Not many has the courage to talk to me like that. Now, give me my cat," she said, as Naruto handed over Tora. before the woman looked at Naruto one more time before heading off. Suddenly, two Chunins came into the room as they bow in front of Naruto. "We appreciate all of your work, Naruto-sama. Because of what you just said, with all the courage you possess, you might have just ended the tour mission forever. And we bestowed on you." As one of them pulled out a crown and placed on Naruto's head. The crown of ending the tour's mission. The two of them then left, making everyone sweat drop what they just saw. "Okay, now that whatever that was is over, Kakashi, are you taking another mission today?" As Kakashi nodded, "Well, we have painting fences, cleaning the soccer," then cut him off with a yell. "No, I demand a higher rank mission. You're holding me and Sasuke-kun back from being greater." Naruto placed a seal on her neck as Sakura was screaming but no word was coming out. "Thank you, Naruto," said Hiruzen. "No problem, old man. And although we have different reasons, I would like to say that you should give us a C rank, because C ranks are relatively harmless. Although, if you need to be persuaded, I can do this as well." "So, how is it gonna be? The easy way or the hard way?" said Naruto. But Hiruzen wouldn't budge. "I'm sorry, Naruto, but I can't let a genuine team, 2 months out of the academy, take a C rank mission." Sasuke was about to say something, but Naruto raised his hand, as Sakura was still yelling but no words are coming out. Naruto then pulled out a stack of photos out of his pouch, as he placed on the decks. It will be a real shame to see these get out in the public. As it was Hiruzen, surrounded by a bunch of girls, it was Naruto in his reverse harem jutsu when he took all the pictures. Hiruzen coughed as he grabbed the photos. "Well, due to some rather compelling evidence, I will allow Team 7 to take a C rank mission. However, before he could finish, Team 8 walked in. "Sorry, Hokage, but we were just coming to hand in the mission report. We can wait outside," said Kurenai. "Actually, you arrived just in time, Kurenai. I'm assigning Team 7 to a C rank mission, and I'm adding your team as well." "Are you sure, Hokage-sama?" "They've only been out of the academy for 2 months, she said." "Yes, I've been giving them some rather important evidence, so I'm allowing it." As he glanced at Naruto with smiling instantly, Kurenai knew that Naruto's up to something. "Send in Tazuna," said Hiruzen, as a man walked in with a straw hat and a slate bottle that was almost empty. "This is it? A bunch of kids and 2 adults? The pink-haired girl looked like she can't even lift a damn twig. The one with the dog looked like he's dumb as a bag of rocks. And that one over there seemed like she's blind, and seemed like she would cry if she spilled her ice cream. And the one in the duck-ass ear style looked like he's constipated or something, and a pole stick up his ass. And you, can you even see where you're walking?" he said, looking at Kakashi. He then looked at Shino. As he looked at Naruto. "Well, at least these two look cool." He then looked at Kurenai and giggled. "How about while in travel, me and you grab a hotel room?" Naruto jumped forward as he grabbed onto Kurenai, stopping her from killing the client. "Alright, your mission starts tomorrow at 8 AM. Dismissed," said Hiruzen, as Naruto flashed away with Kurenai. Kurenai finally calmed herself. "Thank you, Naruto-chan," she said, "but how do you know where I live?" "Oh, I brought you here a couple times, after you, Anko, and Hana had your drinking nights at my house." As she nodded, she remembered those nights, but she never remembered going home. "Well, thank you for that," she said. She kissed him right in the forehead. "Now go get packing, we have a mission to pack for," she said. Not seeing a certain Hyuga, with a pissed off look on her face. The next day, everyone is there, except for Naruto who arrived 1 hour late, with about 20 animals surrounding him. "I'm sorry guys, but I have a mission, it's my job now. I left enough food for you guys for 2 months, and the medical area as well. I restocked it and I had a heating compartment to it, so you guys can sleep there." As all the animals nuzzled at Naruto as he leaned down, before all of them walking off, looking rather sad that he was leaving. As Kurenai knew that Naruto loved all the 3 animals, and he always took care of them. I guess you need all those animals, after all. You're a street rat just like them," said Kiba, causing Sakura to join in. "Yeah, Naruto Baka, no one wants those animals, just like no one wants you. It's fitting, they find comfort in you." As Sasuke smirked, causing Sakura to squeal and fangirl over him. Kurenai then rushed over as she saw Naruto going through hand signs, as she quickly held onto his hand. As she shook her head no, Naruto sighed as he then sunshine away from them, going towards Wave. It took them an hour to catch up to him, but when they did, they saw him tying up 2 shinobis, who Kurenai and Kakashi recognized, the Demon Brothers of the Mist. As the group was shocked, Kakashi stepped forward. "Naruto, what's your problem?" he said. "Why did you go off on your own like that? You could have been killed. I should write to you or have you suspended from the ninja program." Kurenai was about to say something, but Naruto beat her to it. "Shut the hell up, Kakashi," Naruto said. "We all know that you're only mad because you couldn't see your precious Sasuke in action. Don't act like you care right now just because there's another joining around. And clients, you act like you care about the other 2 members of the team. Let me guess, you see Sasuke and you see a spitting image of yourself from when you were younger." And Sakura, whore from mother, mustn't let you sleep with her, or paid you off to let you tolerate Sakura. But he got no response. That's sad. A well-known respected shinobi like yourself can be bought off like that. Now, I've already interrogated them. You have some explaining to do, Tazuna. Naruto said in that tone of voice that reminds Sasuke of Itachi, that pissed him off, as Tazuna explained his story. But the group still continued on, and they set up camp later in the night. Hinata was surprised because Naruto set up an invisible barrier that she cannot get through. But Kurenai just walked right through it. Naruto, are you okay? You let out a bit of anger back there. As Naruto sighed, she pulled him to a hug, much to Hinata's displeasure, who can see but she just can't go near them. Yeah, I'm fine, said Naruto. I just have to let out a bit of anger a few times, if I don't want any darkness to grow inside of me, because I want to master the Kyuubi's chakra. What do you mean by that? Can you just force it to give you chakra because of the seal? No, it doesn't work like that. The Kyuubi chakra is filled with hate and anger, and I have to separate the hate and anger first to get control, before taking in the rest of it. If I have too much hatred, it will overpower me, killing me in the process. What do you mean, she asks, as Naruto looked towards her, as he told her what happened with him freeing the Kyuubi, and about the fox summoning contract. Summon a fox, she said to him. Naruto went through hand sign, but nothing happened. Nothing happened, said Kurenai. Yeah, I know. That was to lock out Hinata's sight. Even with her Byakugan, she can't see through the barrier now. Now, said Naruto as he went through hand sign and summoned his personal fox, Scarlet, who was sleeping right in his lap, as Kurenai was surprised how beautiful the fox was. As Naruto sent her back, they talked for another hour, as no one could see inside of the barrier. After that, they went to sleep as they woke up next morning, as Naruto told Kurenai about Zabuza and that he has a partner. He learned this from the demon brothers. She nodded as she went to go and tell Kakashi. A few days later on their trip, Zabuza arrived, and what should have been an easy 2-on-1 turned into a, well, train wreck because Kakashi kept on getting in Kurenai's way, making the both of them get trapped in a water prison, and Zabuza's apprentice wasn't even there. Run, you guys are no match for him, Kakashi shouted. Kurenai didn't say anything as she would focus on her breathing and plan to escape. She looked up as she saw Zabuza creating 10 water clones. Kiba and Sasuke rushed into the fight, but they got easily handled, as Naruto pulled out 2 kunais and threw them. But what the clones did not see was a third kunai in the shadows of the 2 kunais they threw. Kurenai saw the third kunai fall into the water that explosive tag on it as she braced herself. The next thing they knew, Naruto went through hand signs, the 2 kunais that he threw turned to 50 and took out all of the clones before the one under the water exploded, freeing Kakashi and Kurenai from their prison. Zabuza had to jump away. Kakashi and Zabuza then speed through hand sign water style, water dragon jutsu, as 2 massive dragons collided. The both of them went through hand sign again, but Kakashi finished before Zabuza. Water style, giant vortex jutsu, as Zabuza was sent sailing by the attack as he smashed into a tree. Zabuza picked himself up. How did you use my jutsu before me? Can you see in the future? Yes, and your future is death. Kurenai landed as Kakashi Shidori as he leaped forward, but suddenly Zabuza was hit right in the neck as his body collapsed. Kakashi made his way over before someone landed on a tree branch and landed on the ground. He's dead, said Kakashi, checking his pulse as he covered back up his sharingan. As the hunter ninja appeared, thank you for distracting him for me. I'll take his sword and body to turn him in. The ninja quickly grabs Zabuza's sword and disappeared, as Naruto shared a knowing look with Kurenai as she shook her head. Good job, Sasuke and Kiba. Good teamwork. Sakura, Hinata, Shino, good job protecting the client. And you, Naruto, said Kakashi. You're getting suspended once we get back to the village for not following order for a second time. I don't really care what you say. Whoever your Jonin sensei was must be really disappointed in you. I hope they're not alive right now so they could see the failure that you become, said Naruto. A furious, exhausted Kakashi turned towards Naruto. Kurenai saw what was going on. She was about to make her way over there when Naruto vanished, as he appeared behind Kakashi and struck him right in a point in his back, as he fell to the ground. Naruto, what the hell are you doing to our sensei? Apologize right now, Sakura screamed. Naruto had enough as he was about to blow a castic. Shut the hell up, you annoying, useless bitch, he said. Kurenai knew that something was wrong, as Naruto was never one to call a woman a bitch, as he was always nice and kind. This team was not right for him. Even the Jonin sensei didn't like him. She had to get him off of it. Alright, since Kakashi is out, I'm in charge. Tazuna, how much farther until we reach your house? We should be there in another 30 minutes, he said. Alright, let's move out. Kiba, you carry Kakashi. Tazuna, lead the way. as they walk and reach Wave. If they would have ran, they would have come in contact with the Kumo team, who just left after delivering a client. Seeing that the Raikage refused to help the poor country, but he had a team escort the client back that asked for help. As Naruto was looking at the unfinished bridge, the thing was large. This will take at least 2 to 3 weeks to finish. When Sakura came up and yelled in his ear, "Hey, stop daydreaming and get moving, I swear you're such a baka," she shouted. Naruto turned towards her with a cold look. "The next time you scream in my ear, I'm gonna slap you," he said. As he then turned and was walking away. "Naruto, you're going the wrong way," said Kurenai. Tazuna said that his house was this way. "I'll meet you there later. Remember, I can easily find you, I'm a sensor type as well," he said. "I'm gonna try to find out anything about this Gato by walking around the village." As she told him to be back by 8, that gives him a good 4 hours to get what he needs around the village. Meanwhile, Samui, who was jumping through the trees to her team, stopped. She thought that she heard a familiar name called. "Samui, what's wrong? Why did you stop jumping?" A girl with red hair asks. "Oh, nothing, Karu. I just thought I heard something. Let's keep going." "Wow, Karu, you're really worried about Samui. You should be more worried about if your flat chest would ever grow." Karu turned as she punched Amoy right in the stomach. "Shut the hell up, I'm only 13. I'll grow later," she said. "That's enough, you two. Come on, we have to get back to Kumo." "Samui, I'm very impressed with your work on the missions. You too as well. If you keep it up, the Raikage may give you a field work promotion to Chunin." "Now let's go there," Jonin said, who had blonde hair but had a long ponytail going down her back that looked almost like a cat tail. As they all took off, as Samui jumped as she pulled out her half of the yin and yang necklace, before looking at Naruto's name on it, before a small smile came on her face, before she put the necklace away, as she then headed off. Meanwhile, Naruto's walking through the Wave village and he's taken back by what he sees. Everything looked run down. All the shops are barely standing, looking like they have little food to eat. As Naruto then heard screaming as he made his way around the corner to see 2 of Gato goons trying to force them way on a woman. As she was there with her seemed like young daughter, seemed to be 14 or 15. One of them pinned the woman down to the ground, while the other one was pinning the girl to the wall. Naruto rushed over there, smashed a foot in the man's face, knocking away from the teenage girl, before he grabbed the other by the back of his shirt and tossed him, smashing his entire body into the wall as well. The both of them tried to get up, but with a well-placed kick, Naruto knocked the both of them out. The woman and the doctor started to thank him, but he told them it's no problem, as he tied the goons up. As the both of them left, Naruto then slapped the thugs awake, before his eyes mouth. "What the heck?" one of them said, but he was cut off. "So Kiyomi," Naruto said. 3 seconds later, Naruto got all of the information that he wanted, as he came back to the real world. He then pulled out a kunai. "Scum like you don't deserve to live," as he sliced their throats, before burning their bodies as small fire jutsu. Before Naruto returned home, he made some clones that went to every house and dropped off a bento and blankets to keep them warm at night that he kept in a large storage scroll on his wrist. And the food was nice and warm, thanks to the seal on the bentos, as he left a note in every one of their houses that simply said, "Gato will be no more in a week." The villagers are confused, and they hesitate to eat the food. But after a while, some of them were really starving, and they ate the food, hoping that this wasn't a lie, and that they could have hope that Gato would be taken care of. As Naruto reached Tazuna's house, Hinata opened the door for him, as he walked in, not saying a word to her, as he told Kurenai everything that he found out, as she nods. He looks at her as Tazuna was sleeping in a chair. Shino was in the corner, by himself, as Kiba must be upstairs sleeping with Kakashi. As he was right, he could sense him upstairs. And Sakura was fawning over Sasuke as usual. And due to the fight earlier, Sasuke managed to awaken his sharingan, but he only had one tome in each eye. That's cute, Naruto thought. And Hinata was right next to him. A boy then came out and told them all to leave, that it doesn't make sense, as this was Tsunami's son. They were all going to die by Gato anyway. "Put on your shoes and come with me," said Naruto, saying it in a voice where they leave no room to argue. Tsunami was going to intervene, but Kurenai looked at her. "Don't worry, your son will be fine." Inieri didn't know why, but he went with this boy. As Naruto brought him around the village, showing him the people that had it worse than him. "Inieri, see? You might have it bad, but always remember that someone is having it worse than you. That is why I never complain about life and how it's treating me. I never let my past shape my future or hold me down. And people like Gato, who take slaves and are rapists, they are nothing but scum of this world. And trust me, in a week, he won't be a problem anymore." As Inieri looked up at Naruto, as Naruto smiled at him, the both of them walked around for some more. "Seems like you like that girl," said Naruto, as Inieri instantly turned red. realized that Naruto caught him staring at the girl over there. As Naruto chuckled as Inari started to run home. As the girl walked over, "Why did he run away?" she asked. "Oh, he's just shy," said Naruto. "Alright, let me tell you where he lived. You can visit him sometimes," said Naruto. As the girl nodded, she also knew Inari, and they played together most of the time. But he's really shy. As Naruto arrived back, as Tsunami wanted to know what happened, because Inari just came home and rushed up to his room. As Naruto entered with a cookbook in his hand. "Naruto, what did you say to Inari? Why did he run to his room like that?" asked Kunai. But Naruto didn't say anything, as he then looked up. You say something?" She punched him right in the head. "Don't screw with me," she said. Fine, said Naruto as he put away his book. "I just told him he should go and talk to a girl, and he got all flustered and ran away," said Naruto. "Okay, anyway, I'm gonna take a shower. Kunai, can you handle it for me?" Naruto asked. As Kunai glanced over at Hinata and nodded. "Hinata, come with me," said Kunai. As Hinata was a bit upset. She was just about to use her Byakugan to see through the walls. "So, Kunai-sensei, what do you need me for?" she asked as they were outside. "I'm going to be straightforward with you. You need to stop stalking Naruto. He doesn't like it. In fact, he told me that he already told that he doesn't like you in a romantic way. Why did you not tell me this when you talked to him about it?" "Oh, I'm not stalking him. I'm just making sure that he gets around safe. And of course he likes me. He was just messing around with me. I mean, he did save me from those bullies all those years ago, and he hasn't said anything about me following him around." "Yeah," said Kunai nervously, as she slightly slides away from Hinata a bit. "Actually, Hinata, he doesn't like you. He likes someone else. And contrary to what you've seen on this mission, Naruto is actually a nice person. He doesn't really blow up on people." "Who does he like?" asked Hinata, in a rather low, dangerous tone. "Well, he won't even tell me after knowing me for his basically whole life. He only told two people, Uncle and the other. I don't know who it is. So just cool it, okay?" And with that, Kunai made her way in the house, leaving Hinata. A few minutes later, as Naruto was out with Shino at the dock in the back. As Naruto came out and saw Kunai talk to Hinata. Sakura was still with Sasuke, however. Sasuke seemed to have drained his chakra, playing with his sharingan. Dumbass. That's what you get, Naruto thought. Naruto could sense that something was wrong with Shino. "Why did you call me out here?" Shino asked. "Well, it's you. I can sense that your chakra is uncertain." "What's wrong?" Naruto asked. "Well, you are correct about that. You see, I have a problem. Because in our clan, my Kikachu bugs do not sync with my body type, for some reason. Why I am uncertain, you ask, is because the clan has no way to help me with this problem. Since this is the first, and I can only carry so much bugs outside of my body," said Shino. Naruto says. He looked up in the sky for a few seconds. "Well, what if I can come up with a seal that hold your bugs inside your body, and can also set the temperature, how they like it? All you will need to do is channel a bit of chakra to release a seal during battle, and they will come out when you call for them. Would your clan accept something like that for you?" Shino got a thoughtful look on his face. "I suppose. We can give it a try." "How long do you think it will take to make it?" asked Shino. "Well, I can make it in about 3 days, since you will need to collect any kind of plants that they will like. And I can make the seal huge on the inside, almost like a small forest, where they can move around as they like. That way the male and female will have plenty of food they can eat as well. And also a certain part in the seal where you can control the climate for certain bugs." Shino was very shocked. "Very well. I shall collect what I can, and thank you, Naruto. I owe you one." "Don't worry about it," said Naruto, as Shino nodded. And with that, Naruto made his way up to his room. And what he saw shocked him. He could sense Sasuke's chakra. Sasuke seemed like he was asleep for an hour now. And Sakura was in there, as her back was turned to Naruto. And Sasuke was fast asleep. So Naruto left the room. "Can't sleep?" asked Kunai. "No, that's not the problem. Sakura is in there, blowing Sasuke right now as he sleeps." Are you serious?" Kunai said in shock. "Very serious. Well, from the look on his face as he slept, he's enjoying it. She must have learned from her mother. After all, I've seen the videos of her mother doing some services, and I see why people go back to her." As Kunai only looked at him in shock. "So why are you up, Nai-chan?" said Naruto. As Kunai smiled at that was a nickname that him and Uncle gave her a few years ago, and they call her that ever since. "Well, I think Hinata might be crazy. She seemed to have some psychological issues because I talked to her, and she went through mood swings. I told her that you liked someone else, and she asked who, but I told her I didn't know, only Uncle and someone else knew. But I didn't say who. I know that she won't go after Uncle, but what if she find out that the other person knows? Do you think she will attack her?" asked Kunai. "No. I'm not worried if she was to attack you know who. She will lose, after all. Hinata will stand no chance against her." "Well, if you say so," said Kunai. "Samui," said Naruto. "Huh?" said Kunai. That's her name. The girl I want to find, said Naruto. Kurenai was surprised because he never told her about this girl. As Naruto took a deep breath as he told her about Samui, as she was touched by the story. For the both of them to get ripped away from each other like that, being each other's first kiss, and they just got ripped away. As she understood when Naruto was searching for this girl, he really liked her. It seemed like his feelings just developed over the years. As she wondered if the girl was thinking about the same thing. I'm sure that you will find her, Naruto, said Kurenai. They then heard footsteps as Sakura made her way to the sink. As she spit something into the sink and turned on the running water. Hey Sakura, said Naruto as she froze. Yes Naruto, she said. Spitters or quitters, he said. What? She said, her face becoming all red, before she rushed off to her room. The next morning, as Naruto made his way downstairs as everyone was eating, as he had a seat. So, Sasuke, sleep good last night, Naruto asked. If you must know, yes I did, said Sasuke. Good. It must have been nice to release everything from the day then. What about you, Sakura? Did you sleep well last night? It must have sucked if you didn't, said Naruto. Come on, Sakura, what about you? Don't hold it in, spit it out. At this, Kurenai was about to die from holding laughter until Inieri walked in. Mom, I was trying to sleep last night, but I kept on hearing this sucking sound. That kept me up for almost 30 minutes. Just what was that, he said. Everyone jaw hit the ground except for Naruto, Kurenai, Shino, and Sasuke, as he didn't know what was going on. As Sakura had a deep blush on her face as she tried to hide in her shirt. Kurenai, despite usually being against Naruto talking about sex, she was laughing. After that was over, Kakashi came as he told him that Zabuza is still alive. About his theory, he will be training Team 7, but Naruto was supposed to guard the bridge builder. He expected some kind of protest from Naruto, but Naruto didn't really care, as he didn't want any training from him. As Naruto went off in the forest on his own to train, as Kurenai watched him, she knew now that she couldn't let Naruto stay on that team forever. She had to get him off of it. As Naruto practiced his light Nafinte, making the light bulb stay active for at least 10 minutes, but for so far could do it for only 5 minutes. After his training was up to 7 minutes, as his light Nafinte is coming along quite well. After that, he ended up getting exhausted as he lied down in the forest. Someone then came through the bushes as they made their way. As Naruto sensed her immediately, it was a girl. She saw him as she saw that he was one of the boys. She reached down, but she didn't have it in her. But Naruto spoke. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Sneaking upon someone could get you killed. As she realized she was caught, she put on her innocent face. You shouldn't be sleeping out here. You might catch a cold, she said. I don't get sick. So, what's your name? Haku, she said. Well, nice to meet you, Haku. I'm Naruto. So what are you doing out here so early, Naruto asked. Oh, I'm collecting herbs for my friend. He's sick, she said. But I hope you get better, said Naruto. Thank you. What about you? What are you doing, she asked. Oh, I was training last night, and I fell asleep. Are you a ninja? Naruto nodded. So, what are you fighting for? Oh, I fight for a lot of reasons, but the main one is to protect my loved one from harm. Well then, if that is what you fight for, I believe that you will become very strong. Because when you have a precious person to protect, there is no limit on how strong you can get. Yeah, you're right about that, said Naruto. Well, I must go, she said. She turned her back. Yeah, see ya. And tell Zabuza to get a speedy recovery, said Naruto. She spun around as fast as she could, but he was gone. As she rushed back to the hideout, a week passed as Naruto just defeated some thugs that came to the house to kidnap Inieri and Tsunami. As Naruto made his way to the bridge after leaving behind a few clones, he came there to see a pissed off Kurenai. Kakashi decided to fight Zabuza one-on-one, and he's having trouble even with the sharingan uncovered. That left her to guard the client with Shino and Hinata and Sakura, who just wouldn't shut her mouth about Sasuke, as Sasuke was stuck in an ice dome, along with Kiba, as Naruto arrived and slammed the silence seal on Sakura's back, making her went quiet. Thank you, Naruto, said Kurenai. Wait, what are you doing here? He did send the thugs, said Naruto, to the house to kidnap Tsunami, but I stopped them. Don't worry, a few of my clones are there. As she sighed in relief, as Naruto looked up at the ice dome. Can you go help them, please, she said. Naruto nodded as he vanished in Shanshin. As he arrived, the hunter Nin was ready to finish off both Kiba and Sasuke. To her surprise, she felt something grab her leg, as she turned just in time, but she wasn't fast or strong enough. As she swung around her other leg, but he caught it. He then did something that surprised her. He smashed her body right through her own mirrors that should have caught her, to her surprise. As Haku looked up to see Naruto coming out of the broken ice mirrors, coming towards her, a chirping sound could be heard. She looked over on the bridge to see Zabuza, pinned down by dogs. She quickly created an ice mirror under her, as Kakashi leaped forward aiming towards Zabuza's heart. When the ice mirror appeared, as Haku quickly jumped in front of the attack, as Ishidori ripped right through her, her mask falling off her face. Zabuza-sama, Haku said. As she fell, Kakashi removed his hand. Suddenly, there was laughter. Demon of the Mist, my ass. Well, it doesn't matter. I was gonna kill you anyway, said Gato, as he had an army of thugs behind him. Hey Zabuza, where's that girl you had with you? She looked young, but she was mature enough for my likings, he said, with a perverted look on his face. As Naruto looked towards Zabuza, if you stand there and let him disrespect her like that again, I'll kill you, said Naruto. As Zabuza just looked down at Haku, as his emotions started to well up inside of him, seeing the dead body of Haku, realizing that he would never get to see Haku again. As Naruto then turned his head, hey, Fatso. Gato turned towards him. Tsukiyomi, said Naruto, as Gato was stuck in the Tsukiyomi world as he was tied to a bed. Welcome to my world. In here, I am God, Naruto said. And you're gonna tell me everything about the safe, the passwords, everything, for all the money you have stored away in your hideout. Screw you, I'm not gonna tell you shit. Well then, it seems like you like to rape girls and abuse them. Let's see how you do it in here, with them doing the same to you. As hundreds of girls start to appear all around him, with vicious looking grin on their faces. It didn't take long for Gato to break, as he collapsed on his knees outside of Naruto's Tsukiyomi world. It only took 3 seconds, but inside it was days. Naruto then pulled out a kunai. People like you don't deserve to live, he said. As he then moved forward, before any of the thugs could move, Gato looked up, his eyes seeming tired and beaten after going through the Tsukiyomi torture. Naruto didn't waste 1 second as he drive the kunai right straight down into Gato's skull. The man body dropped with a thud instantly. As the other thugs started to attack, hey kid, toss me a kunai, said Zabuza, as he was unable to use his arms. Naruto flicked him a kunai as Zabuza jumped and caught it with his teeth, before charging into the row of thugs, as he started to slice them down, before he got impaled all over, slicing and dicing the rest of them, knocking them all off the bridge. Zabuza dropped down to his knees as he got stabbed repeatedly. Another group raised up their blades to end his life, but all of them were blown away by Naruto entering into the fray. As Zabuza coughed up some blood. Hey kid, can you lay me down with Haku? Naruto removed his swords and knives from his back as he brought Zabuza over and laid him down. Zabuza reached up with his hand and touched Haku's face. I'm so sorry, Haku, he said. I never wanted you to be a part of this in your life. You should have grown up, live your life to the fullest, and fall in love and have a family. I remember when I first found you, you were a scared little girl who was a victim by the bloodline purges of the Mizukage. I tried to stop him. I had a 100% plan that was guaranteed to work, but I was betrayed by someone acting as a spy in the rubber camp, and I was forced to flee with you. I trained you to become my personal tool, but as time go on, you became the daughter I always wanted. And never once have I told you I love you. I won't be seeing you again, because where you're going, I'm not allowed. I love you, the daughter I always wanted. Tears are now streaming down his face. Hey kid. Yeah, said Naruto. Can you pick up that sword? Naruto picked up the giant blade. Yeah, said Naruto. Well then, as a parting gift, congratulations. You're now the owner. The sword will only deem the one that's worthy enough to lift it. So it seems like it's now yours to wield. From what I know, you're the 4th person to lift that sword. I hope you do well with it, kid. Just by looking at you, I can see bright things in your future ahead. As the man then looked back over at Haku, before his injuries finally caught up to him, as he died. A few hours later, Naruto was standing in 2 graves, as he had his sword in his shoulder. I'll make you proud, said Naruto. After all, you entrusted me with your blade. As he then turned and walked away. Returning back to the village, there was a celebration going on, as everyone was ecstatic, thanking him over and over. As they all find out and put it together that he was the one that left the note, and also left the food in a blanket. As the people called him the hero of the wave, they were determined to build a statue for him no matter what. As Naruto told them about Zabuza killing off Gato's goons, even though Zabuza was a demon of the mist, he was the one today that helped them out in that battle. So they held a moment of silence for him. After a few hours, the celebration was still going on, but Naruto had one more thing to do. as he located Zabuza mansion with all of his safe, as he had everything that he needed from Goto after the Tsukiyomi. After sealing up all the money that he had in the safe in a scroll, Naruto found documents as well that would do great for Tsunami and the others. And he also found a journal. This had something to do with the Hokage's treacherous student. Naruto also found a scroll with a lightning jutsu in it that would suit him perfectly. He also found girls chained up in the basement from age 14 to 30. After finding no one else in the house sensing out nothing, he placed explosive tags everywhere. As he made his way, boom, the entire mansion exploded, blowing to smithereens. Tears instantly started to flow as the girls came back, many of them belonging here and loved ones. As Naruto was exhausted, so he decided to have a sleep. As he went back to the house, 2 weeks later the bridge was completed, and they also built a statue with Naruto and Zabuza. Naruto and Zabuza were standing back to back, with Zabuza having his sword over his shoulder and Naruto had his arms crossed as he was standing on Goto's back with a kunai in Goto's skull. As Naruto must say, it was pretty badass. They were currently standing in the village entrance, about to leave to return home, as Naruto was hailed with hugs and kisses from a group of women that all thanked him, getting a glare from Hinata as she glared at all of the women that were just hugging her Naruto like that, and a pissed off, jealous Kiba. Sasuke wasn't paying attention, he was just focusing on his sharingan, and Sakura fawned over him. We can't thank you guys enough for everything that you've done for us. When we get back on our feet, I will send for an alliance between Wave and Leaf. You're the only one that was willing to help us. We reached out and we were rejected by every other village. Only the Raikage was nice enough to send a Genin team and a Jonin to escort our messenger back from their village. If there's anything that you need before you leave, please let me know. We don't need anything. Thank you though. We have a long trip back, Kakashi said. Actually, there's 2 things, said Naruto. We don't have time for this, Genin, said Kakashi, as he really got a dislike for Naruto. But Naruto paid him no mind, neither did Kazuna. Sure, what do you need, kid? Asked Kazuna. Oh, Tsunami. And you actually, said Naruto. The both of them stepped forward as Naruto handed Kazuna a scroll. In that scroll is every single Ryu that Goto had in his name from all of his business, illegal and legal. The money will fall out as a seal I place on Kazuna to open the scroll, so take it to the bank and deposit it. About 2.5 billion. You can use this to get your country back on your feet. As everyone was shocked, but Naruto pulled out another scroll, as there was shipping papers in it. Tsunami, I want you to sign these papers before I tell you what it is. She trusts him, so she did it. Alright, those were business transfer papers. When I raided Goto Mansion, I found these, and he already had his name on them, so I added my name once. That was done, I signed another transfer paper. You are now the owner of Goto Shipping Company. Do not worry about the illegal business he had going through his company. I put an end to them as soon as I signed the papers. I know that you will do good by the business, which is why I left it to you. Naruto was enveloped in a bone-crushing hug, as many of the man from Wave was a bit jealous because she was pressing his face right between her breasts. But she was just thanking him with tears in her eyes. I will take care of it the best I can, she said, breaking the hug. I know you will, said Naruto. Oh, Inari, good luck with the girlfriend you got there. As the 2 kids blushed. As Naruto then turned, well, we're off, he said, as screams and cheers could be heard. So dad, what are you gonna name the village? Asked Nami. I was going to name it Super Kazuna Bridge. However, I decided on naming it the Great Hero Bridge, named after our 2 heroes who helped free us from Goto's reign. The journey back to Konoha was stressful. Naruto almost revealed his sharingan and put everyone minus Kurenai, Shino, and Hinata in a genjutsu, as Kiba was bragging that Zabuza was a failure, dying like how he did, making Naruto nearly slice his head off with a giant blade. It was Kurenai that held him back, as Sasuke was bragging that he got his sharingan before Naruto, and how far superior he is. But Naruto hinted, saying that he doesn't need his sharingan to prove how strong he is, as Kurenai and Shino caught on. As Sakura was clinging to Sasuke, asking him out on a date, Kakashi was nagging Naruto about his behavior, about defending Zabuza, as Naruto told him to screw himself and just move on. As Kurenai walked over to him, when we get back, you're not going to be on the team anymore, she said. As Naruto looked at her, but she just kept on walking. As they arrived at Konoha, Kakashi tried to put a lot of blame on Naruto, but Hinata, Shino, and Kurenai was there. As Kurenai spoke what she wanted to do, Hokage-sama, I would like to request a chance for Kiba and Naruto. Hiruzen went quiet as he thought about it. The mission report and everything he got from Team 7 was really bad. They are not working together at all, as he then thought about the report, with Kiba constantly hitting on Hinata, which would cause him to get a lot of beatings from his mother and sister when they were told. So he decided, very well, sign the papers and it will become official. Kurenai signed the papers, Kakashi signed as well, but he was not paying attention. Alright, very well, the transfer between Naruto and Kiba is official. Wait, what? But Hokage-sama, I am the only one that can train them in Sharingan. That is why I request for them to be on my team. Yes, I know, but I've been through the mission reports, and your team is a ticking time bomb. So, it's final. I'm replacing Naruto with Kiba. And that's an order. Take hers as he stomped the file. As Kakashi couldn't say anything. Alright, now you're all dismissed, said Hiruzen. As Naruto looked over at Hinata, they were going to be in a team now. So it's time, as he held on to her hand. Come with me, he said, as she nodded, as Kurenai watched him leave in a sunshine. But guys, if you end this episode right here, if you want to be supportive, this is know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell notifications stay posted. And also, stay in tune for What If Naruto Was a Godly Mage. And I do hope that you guys enjoy. And I'm also going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto Became the God of Wind. So stay tuned for that, and I do hope that you guys enjoy it as well. And I'm going to be posting What If Naruto Got His Memory Sealed Away on this channel. So stay tuned for that as well, guys. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Animaking family. But for now, I'm out of here, guys. See you guys soon. Peace.